My name's Lexi. I'm from Zest Coffee, and we're here today with Ben from the Common Good Company. Thanks, Ben, for joining us. Ben's here because we've just recently received a shipment of T-shirts, in which I'm wearing, which Ben was kind enough to produce for us. We're loving it so far. We're loving the print. I'll just show you the back here. And it's all about a little story about coffee and sustainability. And I guess that's one of the main reasons we joined up with the Common Good Company to produce these shirts. So, Ben, would you be able to tell us a little bit about how the Common Good Company started and how it all come to be?
Well, firstly, thanks for, I guess, having me, albeit all virtual. I'm going live. And, and then secondly, thank you for supporting another small business in the Common Good Company. And, that alignment, which you just said around sort of Zest and what you're doing in the way that you produce your product, really aligns with who we are as a small business. And, we are that blank canvas to support people through their supply chains around, well, what does more sustainable and responsible, clothing and therefore merchandise look like? So it's probably the very core to what, we have done together as a business is why my partner and co-founder TCGCo started the business, was we probably saw that there was a little gap between in the market around sort of businesses and the apparel that they were producing and aligning with, and just how that was produced, either from an ethical view and then in the materials that they use. So, in probably 2019, you probably got the more boring co-founder speaking to you about sort of our development, but my much more exciting co-founder in TCGCo, she works in the space of innovative textiles, and is a pattern maker and designer by trade and her background. So I've worked heavily in that space. She came across the composition material, which I've got, wearing now, that awesome T-shirt, which looks fantastic. And then it was probably about a year's worth of R&D about how we could get a product to market, which, sat with this sort of our values around, well, we're going to produce something. We need to make sure that, in a world of sort of overconsumption and, within fashion, that how could we do it in the most responsible way? So we landed on recyclable materials. So, within that garment, as you could see on the swing tag, it will tell you about, well, what's the benefit of that garment? So it's a reduction of water. We're using the raw materials are not virgin materials, and then the planet saving around there. So I guess that was probably a really long answer to your first question.
No, that's excellent. Yeah, well, you've already covered, or you kind of half covered, like where what really makes the T-shirt stand out, and it is that that innovative material. And I just want to read out what's on this tag. So by choosing this T-shirt, you are saving 2,700 litres of water. Amazing. And on top of that, it's 170 GMS of textile waste and 4.5 plastic water bottles from landfill, which is unreal. Just for those of us who are listening in, 170 GMS, what's GMS then?
So what we talk about, so that's like a weight of the T-shirt. Yeah. So, and we use textile waste. So it's two parts. So where we look at that composition of that T-shirt is 60% of made that is recycled cotton. So that's textile waste. And there's lots, like the wastage around, I guess, textile waste is twofold. There's some from the cutting room floor. So there's like about 20% of all textile waste has come from the cutting room floor. So, and then within that, so where does that go? Well, into landfill. So that makes up that waste is then sort of shredded and then born into a new yarn. Yeah. But what we need to do for that composition, so that's sort of 60% of our T-shirt, is we need to add another 40%, which is recycled polyester. So that's the 4.5 water bottles you made mention to it. And that adding of the polyester gives strength to the T-shirt to make sure, one, that it's sustainable, because only if you're having a sustainable T-shirt that you can only wear once, because then it's not sustainable by its nature. So that's where I guess that textile waste, and then the water bottles, and then overall the impact that has from that the saving that you said around water, because, you know, when compared to, say, a cotton T-shirt, like cotton is really super thirsty.
Yes.
You know, water, it's not a finite resource. It is going to run out. So that's why, we've chosen not to use virgin materials instead of existing materials to develop our T-shirts.
No, that's excellent. And the numbers really stack up. Like, I was really impressed when you showed me that that graphic of our entire order, which is over.
Well, yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, that's sort of a one single T-shirt, but that's the impact like that Zest have when they choose to sort of go with a different product, is about, well, what does that collectively look like? So yeah, you'll know those numbers because you might have them there, because they were like, they do add up quite significantly when you look at, you know, from the choice that you've made and what is that impact.
The main one that stood out for me was over 600 water bottles, which was just like, wow, you know, to see that. I should put a picture up. This is what 600 water bottles looks like.
Yeah. And you know, one of the other metrics, like, you look at probably the water saving of what that was within it. And, you know, like, for, you know, I guess across the year, when we look at our impact and that water saving, we start to measure it in like an Olympic-sized swimming pool. Yeah, like, just to sort of get that visual, because that's works. And that's like the one where the recycled plastic, people associate plastic with, I guess, water bottles. So that's why the metric that we use for water bottles going in, just to sort of help tell that story around, you know, so, because I think that people, they are going to continue to choose more consciously, you know, from the small local business that they go to provide. And then, like, for you, it's around, well, what does that look like from the coffee beans that we produce as well? Yeah, no, and it's becoming more and more important, just the whole transparency of products, along with our coffee bean lines as well. We're continually working to sort of open that up and show how it's being produced sustainably. It really does all stack up when you make the right decisions. It's good to know. And it's what really drew me to you guys is you put it so plainly and simply, and you can just see straight away. Just, you know, even this swing tag design is super impressive. I'm loving it. Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. And I guess, I mean, I've asked you these questions already, but like, for anyone that's listening, these T-shirts, just because of what they're made of, there's no compromise in kind of wearability and washing and everything. That's just a normal process like any other. Yeah, well, I guess that was part of like a lot of the R&D that we did before we went to go to market, is that we wanted to make sure it's like, because a lot of the footprint of a T-shirt is actually in the responsibility of the person that then, I guess, purchases a T-shirt or then wears it, and that comes into the way they wash it, and that's irrespective of whatever garment that you purchase. So, like, around sort of our care instructions that, you know, what we have on our website is that okay, well, we need to wash less anyway. You know, we don't want a stinky T-shirt, but like, we don't need to wash it after every wear, you know, wash in a cold cycle. You know, don't put it in the dryer, like hang dry. You know, all of those different things. Like, you do that, you're going to increase the longevity of the garment. And what we sort of prescribe to is like, we want the 30 wears. Like, that's when, you know, you can have the most sustainable garment in the world, but if you're only going to wear it once and then throw it out, like, it doesn't make it sustainable. So I think that the garment care and what that, but for the people at home that are going to you know, hopefully get decked out in that new epic tee that you've got on, our recommendation: wash it in cold water. You can, you know, if you want to, use a guppy bag or something else, which you'd put in with some of your other items that have got a polyester component, but hang dry it as well, because like, your dryer is just a major emitter of carbon. So they're probably some of the, I guess, the recommendations that we would have. Awesome. No, good. Well, I know a lot of baristas will be wearing these T-shirts and that kind of thing. So we'll pass that along, and I'm sure they'll be behind it. It's very, very good cause. I was just wondering, besides the way the T-shirts are made, are there any other sustainable practices you'd like to talk about that you follow as a company? Or
there's like quite a few. Like, I think the one around it is that, like, we do, we're trying to do a lot of things better, but we're not essentially perfect. And I think that sometimes within that, like people think about, some of this stuff, it can be quite overwhelming, but we sort of make the point that we don't need 100 people doing stuff perfectly. We need thousands, we need millions of people doing stuff imperfectly, but there are decisions that we do within our company that support us on being more sustainable, and we probably say more responsible, and that can be from that we primarily ship all of our product rather than using air, because shipping that there's a less carbon footprint from there. For a lot of our direct to consumer stuff, around what that looks like, we use a company which is carbon neutral, so they offset. We don't use any plastic within our business. We do a number of different things, to lessen it. And the other, some cool stuff as well. Like our factories, we use one factory for a lot of our production, and they're fully green, so they're fully renewable. So again, it lessens that, I guess, impact of our production, which is pretty cool, and that's important to us when we're looking for third parties to sort of work with and support us around what we do, whilst also ensuring throughout our supply chain that people are paid ethically. Is really important for us.
No, excellent. No, thanks for sharing all that. And another thing I did want to add is got to add it before, the actual cuts for your t-shirts are amazing. We really like them. We've had a sort of a unisex cut in our previous ranges, and going a female cut and a male cut have been unreal. So
awesome. And it's probably like within one of the things, and I'm very fortunate that pretty much my co-founder, she can do it all, and I just do whatever she tells me to do, pretty much. But Tessa is a pattern maker by trade, so the difference between that is that all of our t-shirts and all the products that we do, like she does the block from the relationship that we have within our factories, and that ability to talk to people that manufacture our garments, is her level of knowledge and expertise ensures that we have a garment like you're in the Grace Jones or the Dean James or others that people wear, is that it fits the one that people want to wear. This garment, it looks different and is a good quality product, and it's kind of like we want to be a product-based business first. That's what we want to be known for. And then it's like, oh, look at all this other cool stuff that they're trying to do. We're like so stoked. When you touch base and said that how happy you were with the teas, sometimes as a small business, it just can be a bit of a grind, and you're like, exactly. So you've got a little bit nervous that when you get the email, someone's got it, and you're like, oh, we're so stoked. It literally made our day. We weren't having many wins on that exact day, but when we got the email through that you're stoked with the product, we're really happy.
Excellent. No, and I guess the message I want to put out to anyone who listens to this is get behind you guys, because they are a great product. I've washed this a couple of times already. No changes. Yep. There's a testimonial right there. Awesome. We love what you're about, and we love that you are able to get a good quality product while still being responsible, like you say. And we're all about it. So thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me. And like I said at the start, we really appreciate the crew at Zest for supporting us as a small business, and look forward to, hopefully, within time, dropping a few different lines of merch with you guys.
Yeah, excellent. We'll look forward to it. Righties, thanks, Ben.
Thank you.